14. And who is this, and from what sort of working? Interpret to us, O Paul. Whose coming, he says, is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, implying that Satan has used him as an instrument, working in his own person through him. For knowing that his judgment shall now no longer have respite, he wages war no more by his ministers, as is his wont, but henceforth by himself more openly, and with all signs and lying wonders. For the father of falsehood will make a show of the works of falsehood, that the multitudes may think that they see a dead man raised, who is not raised, and lame men walking, and blind men seeing, when the cure has not been wrought. 15. And again he says, who opposes and exalts himself against all that is called God, or that is worshipped, against every God. Antichrist forsooth will abhor the idols, so that he seats himself in the temple of God. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 4. What temple then? He means, the temple of the Jews which has been destroyed. For God forbid that it should be the one in which we are. Why say we this? That we may not be supposed to favor ourselves. For if he comes to the Jews as Christ, and desires to be worshipped by the Jews, he will make great account of the temple, that he may more completely beguile them, making it supposed that he is the man of the race of David, who shall build up the temple which was erected by Solomon. And Antichrist will come at the time when there shall not be left one stone upon another in the temple of the Jews, according to the doom pronounced by our Savior. For when, either decay of time, or demolition ensuing on pretense of new buildings, or from any other causes, shall have overthrown all the stones, I mean not merely of the outer circuit, but of the inner shrine also, where the cherubim were, then shall he come with all signs and lying wonders, exalting himself against all idols, at first indeed making a pretense of benevolence, but afterwards displaying his relentless temper, and that chiefly against the saints of God. For he says, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints. And again elsewhere, there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation upon earth, even to that same time. Dreadful as that beast, a mighty dragon, unconquerable by man, ready to devour. Concerning whom though we have more things to speak out of the divine scriptures, yet we will content ourselves at present with thus much, in order to keep within compass. 16. For this cause the Lord, knowing the greatness of the adversary, grants indulgence to the godly, saying, Then let them which be in Judea flee to the mountains. Matthew chapter 24 verse 16. But if any man is conscious that he is very stout-hearted, to encounter Satan, let him stand, for I do not despair of the church's nerves, and let him say, Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? And the rest. Romans chapter 8 verse 35. But, let those of us who are fearful provide for our own safety, and those who are of a good courage, stand fast. For then shall be great tribulation, such as has not been from the beginning of the world until now, no, nor ever shall be. Matthew chapter 24 verse 21. But thanks be to God who has confined the greatness of that tribulation to a few days. For he says, But for the elect Sake those days shall be shortened, and Antichrist shall reign for 3 years and a half only. We speak not from apocryphal books, but from Daniel. For he says, And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and half a time. A time is the 1 year in which his coming shall for a while have increase, and the times are the remaining 2 years of iniquity, making up the sum of the 3 years, and the half a time is the 6 months. And again in another place Daniel says the same thing. And he swore by him that lives forever that it shall be for a time, and times, and half a time. Daniel chapter 12 verse 7. And some perhaps have referred what follows also to this, namely, 1,290 days. And this, blessed is he that endures and comes to the 1,305 and 30 days. For this cause we must hide ourselves and flee. For perhaps we shall not have gone over the cities of Israel, till the Son of Man be come. Matthew chapter 10 verse 23.